Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Jermaine Morgan TV. In this episode, I want to deal with how to get and how to keep the gig. And I'm going to give you some tips that I've learned over the years, and hopefully they'll be helpful to you. So stay tuned. All right, for the first tip I want to give you, I got some things jotted down here on my phone. So if you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my notes I have here. The first thing, most important thing for me, I think, is to keep your word. Always be a person of your word. Integrity goes a long way with dealing with people, especially professional people. It's seeming to be somewhat of a lost art now. People don't keep their word as much as they used to when I was growing up, that type of thing. But I'm always trying to be a man of my word. And so that's the type of things that get you to call back and get people to think of you first when it comes to certain gigs and that type of thing. The next thing is answer your phone. Musicians, I think we're some of the world's worst with answering our phones or actually returning phone calls. I know sometimes you get busy and it's difficult to actually pick up your phone depending on what you have going on, whether it's a session, a rehearsal, if you're learning songs, whatever the case may be. But if you can't answer the phone, be sure to call people back. Send a text message. At the end of the day, just make sure you're doing a good job in the communication part. Always communicate with people. Always let people know what's going on. Never leave anybody in the dark where they have to assume. Always let them know what's going on. Third thing, show up on time. If at all possible, try to make sure you can be on time for rehearsals, for the gig, or whatever. Make sure you, if possible, get there early so you have plenty enough time to set up. If you know it takes you 15 to 20 minutes to set up, or even 10 minutes to set up, give yourself a little extra time. Leave home a little earlier so you can beat traffic if that might be a situation where you live. You always want to make sure you have plenty of time because you're making an impression, and every time you get to a gig, people are viewing you based on your promptness and that type of thing, and they're keeping that. They might not say anything to you, but they're kind of keeping all those things in mind when they're thinking about considering you for another gig. Let's see what we got next. Know the music. I can't stress that enough. It's very important that you know the music, especially for the gig that you're getting called for. Most of the time, most people will try to send the music out in advance, so you'll have time to learn that music. Even if they don't send the music out in advance, try to do your best to be on top of it as much as you can. I've even developed a system myself of charting out the songs, getting a chart system that works for me, so that I'll at least be very familiar with the song, or I can at least get through the song in the event that I got the song at the last minute. But if I did have plenty of time to know the song, I try to show up knowing the song. For me, I try to show up to rehearsal already knowing the song, so I don't waste the time at rehearsal for the other players who might already know the music. I show up to the rehearsals trying to know all of the music and that kind of thing so that we can move forward. And the last thing I have with that, even with learning the songs, is chart songs if you have to. Now, you have to develop some type of system that works for you. I use the Nashville number system. We call it the number system. And I find a way that works out with using the bars. I write it in the bars. And it works for me. It works great for me, for my situation. If I have to learn a lot of songs at one time and I can't commit all of them to memory, I will get me a few charts out, and I'll start charting something as simple as a sheet of paper, or just a regular piece of notebook paper. You can take it and draw your lines and create your bars and just chart the songs out. And that helps you to remember the song, or at least have a guideline to fall back on in the event that you forget something because you had to learn all of this music at one time. having a good charting system or something like that. It just shows that you're prepared. If you are able to remember the songs, that's great. But if you're one of the people that are like me, and it's very difficult for you to kind of retain a lot of songs in a short period of time, get you some type of charting system. And trust me, nobody will look at you crazy if you come in there with charts and you're prepared for the gig. The only thing they care about is, are you going to play the music right, and are you going to sound good when you play it? So I think these things will help you to have a better advantage on the gig. I'm speaking from experience. I've been on my current gig for almost 9 years now. And, some of these things I've done, some of the things I had to learn over time to implement them into my playing, and to implement them into different situations, different scenarios, and learn what works, or watching other people fail, watching other people get fired for certain things, that kind of thing. And so these are some things, if you implement them into your musicianship now, it'll keep you working for a longer time. And check it out. If you're finding this information and these lessons helpful to you, well, I got good news for you. We're launching new courses available on JermaineMorgan.net. Please head over there and subscribe for the mailing list so that you don't miss out on when these courses are available. They're going to be beginner courses. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a 30-day course where I'm giving away 10 free videos. So you want to jump on that. You want to be the first to sign up for that. Hey, won't you leave a comment below and let me know how long you guys have been on your gig, or how you prepare for songs, that kind of thing. I love to hear from you. I know I give a lot of information and that kind of thing, but you might have something that's helpful for me. So just drop a comment below. Let me know what you do to prepare for your gig. How long have you been on your gig? Leave a comment, and I'll see you guys on next week. Take care.